episode 146 of My Sparky 3. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're watching or listening to this podcast. We got both the boys in here this week. We got Zach back. Zach, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
Not a lot. Just really busy. Played a little bit of TFT the past couple days with the new stuff that dropped. So having fun with that.
That's why you asked.
I assume that's why you asked. I assume something dropped.
I looked it up earlier like on Monday. I was like, "What is that happening?" Oh, it's happening. I'll play that.
So wait, is it a new set or just?
It's the mid-set update.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I've been having fun with it. I won my first game this morning. Whenever I was, getting my car worked on, I was playing on my phone. I won my first game with drawing a blank on the piratey set, like the Bilgewater, whatever.
Okay.
One with that one. That one is honestly just really trolly.
Oh, Bilgewater has a set again?
Yeah. Bilgewater has a set, and it's just like fucking a giant ship just comes in and blows everything up. So having fun with that.
I remember looking at that one. That one, like when I read through the announcement, I was looking. I was like, man, those trait numbers look ridiculous.
They are, man.
Is it what, like 12?
No. I mean, like the
damage.
The damage that you get for having it
as you continue to stack them. Yeah,
I think it's like at 3 they take damage, and then after a couple seconds, right?
Yeah,
a cannonball hits them, and it's like a couple hundred damage for the initial hit.
Pretty much every round for me, the actual like cannons and the boat was the one leading my team in damage. Almost every round, like, because I ended up getting pretty much everyone. I got every one of that class. I got all 7 characters, so I'm 7 of 9 for the stack. And I'm telling, there was just a giant ship that just came into the battlefield and just blew everything up. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. So that's probably gonna get nerfed. But anyway, yes, been playing some TFT. But John, how are you?
I'm all right. I've been in a. I came in a mood. I've been having internet problems. It's been pissing me off.
Hopefully you can get fiber sometime in the future. I know your pain very well, my friend, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, that's like we've talked about before. It's like 80% of the time it works perfectly fine, but the 20 is just inconvenient.
Yeah. If there's anyone else out there that has internet that does the same shit like that, where it works the majority of the time, but whenever it doesn't, it's the most inconvenient thing possible, please let me know. Let's just all get some F's in the chat, because that is unbelievably frustrating. And the exact company that John uses, I once used as well, so I understand your frustration.
Sitting there watching a video like a little bit before I came over, probably like an hour beforehand, and it just pauses partway through. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I looked, my internet was down for like 5 minutes.
Oof.
No reason.
Just cause.
Just happens.
I understand, dude. I hope you can get Viber soon. I hope for your own mental sanity. But anyway, so for today, of course, we do have State of Play and Nintendo Direct, both of which had happened on the same day. Going to touch on those. Going to talk about the Unity software situation, because that was an interesting thing that popped out this week, especially since, as of now, still haven't backtracked. They're still doing it. They put something out where they're just like, we'll give everyone like so much money or whatever, but like the actual plan itself is not changing. So I don't know. It's a shit show. There's a lot of games that could be impacted by this, so it's definitely a very interesting conversation. Plus, really, whatever else the boys want to talk about, what they've been up to, and then we just have multiple things throughout the weekly wrap up. But first and foremost, one thing I'll go ahead and get out of here now before I forget later on. Next week, I won't be here. I will be traveling for my girlfriend's little brother's football game. He's a starter. I got some college offers and stuff. It's a pretty big game next week. So I'll be traveling out next Saturday to watch the game and support. So the boys will be holding it down. So make sure to stop by, hang out with them, because I'm assuming both of you guys will be talking about Mortal Kombat.
That's possible. But you
Depends
forget
on-
that
Depends on what happens.
Payday 3 comes out next week, too.
Payday 3 or Mortal Kombat. I really don't care which one. Either way, the boys are going to be holding it down and talking about whatever they want to talk about. But then after that, the show will actually be on a break for the next 2 weeks. After next week, I'll be going on vacation. And, I didn't really want to make anyone like deal with the audio bullshit, whatever. Last year, Zach Hell set for me. He took care of it, and I appreciate that. But honestly, full transparency, we're taking a break for 2 weeks. I'm trying to delay when 150 comes out, because I've got something I'm working on to celebrate episode 150 of Gamesthetic. So I'm simply trying to delay that out a little bit. And the 2 weeks that I'll be out of state felt like probably the best time to do that. But then we'll be back after that talking about whatever we're going to talk about, whatever pops out in the next, the 2 weeks that we're off and all that stuff. But
You know what, Alex?
what?
Last week you asked me when I thought there was going to be a state of play,
Man.
and I may have said before the end of October. I'm counting this as a win.
This is a win. This is a win.
I mean, the statement's not technically wrong.
This is a win.
I'm counting it.
Yeah. No, it's a win. We got it. We got it. No, the one thing that was interesting about that, I was like simply trying to put something else on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing.
I figured.
Yeah, like I knew there was rumors of a Nintendo Direct this week, whatever. I've been following that one. But State of Play, I mean, obviously I've been following rumors for like a month that there was another State of Play coming at some point, but I didn't actually hear anything that it was going to happen this week. I just threw it on the title just to have a conversation because like, oh, well, Direct may be happening. What about State of Play? But it was funny because it's like we do that, and then I'm not shitting you, man. Like Monday, Tuesday, like in like Wednesday morning, I'm just seeing all these other YouTubers putting up like State of Play, State of Play, State of Play. I'm like, oh damn, look at that. Damn, look at that. We may have been ahead on the curve, kind of guessing on that one. But no, that's a win. We said it. That's a win. We got it.
I mean, you went out there in the darkness. We'll get one sometimes.
Yeah, every once in a while. Once on a blue moon. So shout out to that. But yeah. But anyway, let's actually jump into the State of Play. Because I basically broke it down into basically the few highlights. There was only a few.
First up, I assume you watched it.
Yes.
You watch it?
I read an article.
I didn't do either.
Woo! I knew you guys didn't watch it. I know you guys enough that
I just
you guys
gotta do.
don't watch.
I just got to do a run of the room every time we go through this.
I didn't watch it live though. I will say I forgot about it.
Here's the problem: is if I don't watch it live,
You're not watching it.
I'm not watching it. What I do is I go look at an article, and I'm like, okay, is there anything here that catches my eye? Oh, let's go watch this trailer.
I'm gonna be honest. I was off that day. I saw it pop. I had the opportunity to watch it. Went, fuck that.
Terrible. Terrible. Bad.
I had a day off in 2.5 weeks. I immediately went, fuck that.
Bad. I mean, it was all right though. I mean, I forgot it went live. If we're gonna be completely honest, I was working around when it went up, and I completely forgot about it. I watched it like about 10 o'clock that night. I mean, it was okay. I will say, interesting choice leading off with Baby Steps. I know I mentioned it before the show to him privately. He didn't remember it, but for anyone that does not remember that game, it was revealed over the summer. Basically about a man-child who's been living in his basement who gets teleported out of his basement into the open world, and he learns to walk again.
You know who's the developer of that game?
God, I did. Who?
The person who also made Getting Over It.
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. That's why you got to play it.
Well, I'm not, but
I'll gift it to you.
cool.
You got to play it.
I don't.
It's for content, man. You got.
I mean, when you play Alan Wake, sure.
All right, challenge accepted.
They said that a year ago too.
Relax. I'm
The
going to play
remasters
Alan
come
Wake.
out too.
I'm going to play Alan Wake. Okay, relax. But yeah, interesting choice leading off with that. But okay, but no, the main highlights, of course, Spider-Man 2. You know, had a big trailer there, lots of information dropped, just showing off the map size, all the different costumes and everything. Shout out to Tobey Maguire's black suit being in the game. That's cool. They did say it's gonna be like over 65 suits and stuff. I'm wondering how many are new, how many are. I don't expect every suit from the previous 2 games to come back, but I expect some. So I'm kind of curious how many are coming back. But and then each suit has like multiple color variants like that. They mentioned something about like customization for the suits. But they said it's just like you can have over 200 combinations. I'm just like 65 suits. If you can fully customize them, I feel like you'd have a lot more than 200. So I don't know if it's fully customizable.
So it's probably preset customized.
Like there is 4 preset colors for each suit, but like again, I don't the way it was kind of portrayed is like you can fully customize them. I don't think that's the case. But, no, the game continues to look unbelievable. They showed a nice shot of like the lizard boss fight. Of Peter basically sliding up the building trying to pull him back. I mean, it looks insane. This trailer definitely, graphically looked even better than it did before. I thought it looked good, but I know there's always going to be those haters out there bitching, about graphics or whatever. But this one looked a tremendous amount better than even the previous one that we had over the summer. And then you had a very nice little surprise announcement. One that I don't think any of us saw coming,
I was
buddy.
going to say, I actually saw an article about this in Reddit and went, what?
Yeah.
A Tales game getting DLC?
They don't do that.
They
Yeah.
don't. I mean, most Tales games DLC is like costumes, item sets. They don't actually get full story DLCs.
Yeah.
Cosmetic DLCs are one thing that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
now. But full like
expansion.
post story like content that actually continues the story. I mean that's unheard of for a Tales game.
I was about to say, this is, as far as I can recollect, this is the first ever DLC we have. Usually it just comes out in like a
I did
standard edition or something or another where they
Yeah.
just release a new edition of the game.
I did see an article that did basically say the same thing. It's like this is the first like official story DLC
Yeah.
for the franchise. I gotta say, fucking nailed the timing on this because it's been like less than 2 weeks since I've been sitting there going, man, I should play Tales of Arise again.
And now he has a reason to.
Yep.
So now I gotta start a playthrough.
Yep. November 9th, man. It's not far away either.
I mean, that's actually a really nice drop too. Because
Yeah.
first they blow the Tales community away with a DLC, and then they're like, yeah, it's coming out in like a month.
Yeah, that's the real nice thing. It's
that
like
just calls to John in every way.
it's like it's great because they announce it. It's like, okay, well, great. Now I can go back and play the game again. And it's just far enough away where like casually playing it, I can get through everything I want to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's never would have seen that coming. But
Nobody
happy-
would have.
Very
happy
welcome
about it.
Yeah, it's a very welcomed announcement.
Only thing that makes me think is we're just gonna be a couple more years for another Tales game.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, that's also
That's
true.
the unfortunate thing.
And
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're just kind of like, hey, had the idea of, hey, let's do this for the first time, and then that'll kind of, because it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe that'll hold people over for another year or so before we have the next game.
Release our next anniversary game.
Basically. And hopefully it doesn't like flop like as Symphonia did.
I mean, there's so many versions of Symphonia. I honestly don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that game's been released a bunch.
Yep.
I think it's the Tales game that has been released the most. Because I can't think of any that comes close to it at the moment.
The only potential one would be Vesperia, but that's just because of the edition that came out like a couple years ago that was released everywhere.
I think that's still only the third time Vesperia, because it was the original one. It got upgraded to Xbox One and PS4. And then I don't remember what the last version was. Was it PC release?
It was PC, and then yeah, I know it came to PC, and I think it came pretty much everywhere that was available when it came to PC.
Okay. And then Symphonia, I think the last version of it was like the fifth or
Yeah,
Fifth release of it.
Symphonia's way out in front.
yeah.
Let's see. The next thing that I personally shouted out as a highlight was Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora coming
You
out.
still
this
gonna try
year.
this?
Yeah, I'm going to. My impression of the game, and I don't see anything changing this impression, is this is going to be a 7 out of 10 game that looks unfucking believable. Like that's what I
can
think
see that.
that's what I think this game is going to be. Like it's going to be visually unbelievable, like in terms of just like the world and stuff. Like I'm not saying the graphics are gonna be like, oh my god, the most realistic thing ever, but just
Yeah.
the world, the environments that you're in is gonna be so breathtaking, so like immersive and stuff. But the game is gonna be mid as shit. That's what I think it's gonna be. But I do want to play it.
That's depressing.
I mean,
Dude, there's nothing wrong with those expectations.
I mean, there isn't.
That's
It's just
what I
depressing.
I just don't, because this is Ubisoft, man. It's gonna be a Ubisoft game with Avatar paint
Yeah.
on it.
I mean,
It's gonna
Yeah.
be mid, yes.
also based on the little we saw, it doesn't look anything special.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think it is. It's just going to be visually appealing.
Ubisoft got all their hits out, and they're just continuing with those, and then we get other things.
They have their format, and they're going to continue to pound that format into the ground. It's that simple. So,
Yeah.
either way, I do plan to play it in December when it comes out. It's on my calendar, but I'm just fully expecting a 7 out of 10 game. And then it did end off with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with a release date. I forgot to grab it. I think it was, end of February, I think is what it was. So that's actually not too far away. So shout out to that. I still have yet to even play Final Fantasy VII Remake, but hey, shout out to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth getting its release date and stuff.
Woo!
Shout out to that. And then the rest of stuff, like I said, baby steps. We had Roblox coming to PS4, Ghostbusters VR, Resident Evil 4 VR, Resident 4 DLC Separate Ways, Ghost Runner 2, the Deep Earth Collection, which is new controllers and plates. It's like a blue, a red, and a silver, but you can't convince me otherwise from that general like video. The silver to me just looks just like the normal PS5. It's like the slightest bit different, but whatever.
Hey, Zach.
So
By the time they finish remaking Final Fantasy VII, what year do you think it's going to be?
I mean, because this is going to be the second one without another offshoot yet.
Yeah, that's the key word. May have
And
another offshoot.
And it was 2018?
Is that when the remake came out?
It's
I don't
somewhere
remember.
around that time.
I don't remember. personally.
I mean, if they're doing it, because I never actually played remake, so I don't know what content it added and what it was technically be about. But if they're doing one for each disc, 2032.
Yeah, that seems about right. I was just wondering because it's like people every time they show something off, they get the biggest pop from all the fans. But I'm
it's
sitting
FF7.
here and I'm like, I mean, I didn't play the original. I didn't finish the remake, but I played. It's like I played through most of it, and I'm like, it's all right. But y'all got some nostalgia really carrying y'all here.
Oh yeah, FF7 is super nostalgia. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, most FF games is very hard nostalgia. I mean, they're still enjoyable. I mean, I have most of them, and I've played through most of them.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a fun time to play, but it's one of those where I'm like, man, I don't. When it's coming in installments, I don't know how you continue to get that excited about it, knowing it's gonna you're gonna play through part of the game and then have to wait 5 or 6 more years.
I'll be honest. I mean, I did actually see a bit of the trailer of where the Sephiroth stuff, which was actually really nice. I'll be honest. I mean, it is just nostalgia thing, and I think it is just the fact that 7 is one of the more held up ones there, and just seeing what we got with the remaster of added content, redone content to a better extent, and just the hype of what else will we get, what other extra content will we get, how nice will old content look now.
Yeah. I guess it's just from the perspective of someone who never played the original.
Yeah,
It's endlessly fascinating to watch people get so excited knowing that it's going to be the middle section of the game. And
we're hoping they give us more for the middle section.
yeah, it's just one of those where I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get how you get that excited over like part of the game.
Right.
But I mean, you're getting it, and you're getting the final version, but it's gonna be a few years. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's still cool. It's just fascinating to
The
me.
real question is, so once we get all 3 parts and whatever other side stories, how much is going to be the version that has all of it in one set?
That's going to be the great question.
But that's gonna come as a collector's edition.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where you get like statues and maps and stuff and everything with it.
Fancy
So,
still case.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You're gonna get a fancy steel case with no games in it, no discs or anything.
Nope. Digital code.
But it's gonna be fucking pricey.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, the game came out in 2020. So the next one, see, the thing is, like, for the next one, would they launch it at the tail end of this generation's lifespan or just the beginning of the next generation's lifespan? That's going to be the question because that'll dictate when it comes out. You know what I mean? Because I think the next generation will probably come like to 2028, I think is where what it's going to be.
I would almost think they would still put it out on the tail end and then do another version for the next gen.
Okay, kind of like what they do with Remake then.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe 2020, anywhere from 2028 to 2030 is when the next one will come out.
2032.
That's, yeah.
In my head, I was thinking 2030.
Yeah, somewhere in that range is when it's going to come out.
Or it's like that's when we're gonna have the complete edition.
Yeah. That's when you'll have
Until we get the complete edition, I do not consider it done.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where that thought came from. I was like, I don't know. But it'll be fun to see like we were talking about the full edition and see what they end up throwing together with that.
Because I would
Right.
assume it would be the set of remakes, maybe Yuffie stuff. I don't know if they would add Ever Crisis to it.
I feel like they would, just for the full feel of it, you know.
But because it's a whole prequel thing and a whole separate story, I feel like they would leave Ever Crisis out.
That's fair.
Yeah. That'll be like a secondary purchase you can tag on with it.
Yeah, there you go. Last three things were just Helldivers 2, Hawkeye Star Rail for PS4, and then the Sony's version of Splatoon, which is Foam Stars.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yep, it's got its open beta here at the end of this month. I think it was September 29th to October 1st. But yeah, like I watched that, throughout that segment, and dude, it's Splatoon. It's Splatoon, but not with Squid Kids. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, it was like when they initially showed that off, they had the character walk up on screen, and everyone went, "Oh, they're doing a Splatoon."
Yeah, that's 100%. That's exactly
So you just
what it
can't
is.
tell by character design.
Yeah. So
Yeah, instead of ink, it's foam.
yeah, so it's different. It's completely different.
I feel like they're a little late in the game, though. The other series has 3 goddamn games in it already.
Yep.
Yeah, but they don't have to worry about making it like high res graphics and everything, make it look realistic.
And that's what makes it stand out. Splatoon is for the kids, and during the day, and then
Foam Stars is for the men.
Yeah, the Foam Stars is for the men after the kids go to bed. So there you go.
Well, I want to commission that now. That's
Put that on a shirt.
I just see a 4-panel now of a kid play Splatoon, their parent kicking him off, they go away, look, and just see Foam Stars on the screen.
it's Foam Stars time. Let's go. Oh, jeez. No, overall, though, State of Play was okay. It's still not this big one that everyone's fucking talking about. At this point, I'm convinced the big one doesn't exist. But, I mean, it was fine. I mean, God Tells Arise for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Spider-Man still looks great. Avatar looks 7 out of 10. And Final Fantasy fans got spoon-fed their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, not bad.
They showed Final Fantasy, so everyone was happy.
Yeah, so that alone boosted up a lot of points. So next up, we had the mid Nintendo Direct. So
The mid Nintendo Direct.
yeah, the mid Nintendo Direct, the Nintendo Direct, if you will. Because
I'm guessing you didn't like this, huh?
Oh man, it was so fucking boring. I did watch this one live, and oh man, I was bored out of my mind.
I don't care. We get a remake of Thousand Year Door.
That's literally the only positive. Like I was typing up a message, right, of my full play-by-play reaction to this that I sent to Josh because me and him were talking about it beforehand.
Okay.
And my final statement was still mid direct. Lord have mercy, this is mid. D- before Paper Mario, C+ after Paper Mario. But like to give you an example of just like how crappy this was, like the 4th and 5th game was like, I think the 4th game was some Forza Nintendo game.
Okay.
And the 5th one was a music game. I wasn't really paying attention. I literally typed my message. Wasn't paying attention. What car game is this? Oh, wait, I don't care. And it's like some music game. Don't care. And then after that was this fucking Spy Family game.
Oh, yeah. So what the heck even is that?
Spy Anya, where she's just making a photo album. That's all you do is you're making a photo album. You go to school. You have family time in the afternoon. That's it.
That sounds
Rip.
wholesome.
It does sound wholesome.
It's very wholesome, but man,
I'm going to be honest. For the first Spy game to the West, it's sort of fitting.
it is very fitting. A very wholesome game. I mean, people will enjoy it for sure. But no, this direct was. It could have been an email. This is one of those that could have been email. I mean, it's
You're not excited about the new F-Zero?
that is cool, as it is the second thing that I have on the highlights. F-Zero. The fact that F-Zero
Got something.
got something is astonishing. Like I shout out the reports last week on the show that there were, the credible leaker was saying F-Zero something was coming. The fact we actually got something is truly baffling. But no, I mean, this direct being mid though is not surprising because this is very likely the last Nintendo Direct of just the Switch era. The next one that we have will probably like introduce the next console, and then we'll get into Switch 2 and Switch Direct era. So like, I mean, it basically went out on a whimpering fart. the direct era for the Switch. But yeah, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. Looks great. A lot of general enhancements. Apparently, they're adding more to the game in some capacity, like just general bug fixes and just quality of life stuff. So that's super cool. One thing that I was curious about, I want to go ahead and throw this out here now for a quick conversation, just because I thought it was. I understand the argument in almost every scenario. One of the most notable ones that we have harped on this show over the last month is Red Dead Redemption 1. But I saw a thing from, I think it was Switch Force, who put out a video about, with the DS remake of Mario and Donkey Kong and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, priced at what they are, from them being a GBA game and a GameCube game, that Nintendo is price gouging. And I'm like, that is so ungodly inaccurate for Thousand Year Door. Because, like, yes, it's a GameCube game. I get it. $60, though. I was lucky to get my near flawless condition of Thousand Year Door complete in box for like $85. Lucky that I got it at that price. How is $60 price gouging when it's more readily available, cheaper than what the alternative is, and you can even take it on the go? I don't view that as price gouging.
You got to think about it. Maybe not necessarily them, but people will inevitably think about this as like, well, I remember like 2 years ago, I went to my local game store and I saw it for like $20 or something like that. Because a lot of these games in the last couple years, the retro games, like especially some like Nintendo stuff, that has gone up in price dramatically. So a couple years ago, it may have been like $20-$30 for them now. So people see them at 60. It's not everything, Zach. I'm speaking generally.
He's the biggest retro owner one here.
Zach, there are exceptions to everything that I'm saying. There are games out there that I know that you've bought that blow that out of the water.
Correct.
I'm talking in a general sense. These games that get brought up, people may look at it and say, well, why are these games $60? These games probably weren't even $60 when they came out. Why are they $60 now? It's because they fucking can, and you're going to buy it.
Correct.
Like, I mean, my big thing here, which I agree with you on that, and just overall remakes and things like that. The fact of the matter is, they're questioning Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is Nintendo's formula for the past decade.
Yep.
Several decades. They re-release something, they put it at a standard price, you buy it.
I think one thing that I didn't watch their video, so that's on me if I'm off on a lot of their video, but I definitely saw all the reaction on Twitter, plus them defending their take on Twitter. So I got enough of a gist of what they were going for. But one thing that kind of bothered them about this price is the fact that Metroid Prime Remastered was launched at $40. The Pikmin 1 and 2 combo was launched at $40. That was their kind of basis of a complaint, and I'm still just
what were the games that they were talking about again?
Thousand Year Door and Mario versus Donkey Kong, because that's a remake of the GBA game.
There's a key very difference there.
Mario
remaster versus remake.
Remake, yeah.
Remake is a new game. Remaster is the old game brought up to like current standards or Nintendo current standards.
Right.
So it's a very big difference there. A remake has a full team dedicated to completely remaking the game, which means it's going to be a new game price.
Right.
Remasters sometimes come out as new game prices, but typically we want to see those a little bit cheaper. So yeah, it's like that's the
looking at you, Red Dead.
It's like fucking Red Dead, man.
It's like that. That's the biggest takeaway there is a remake versus a remaster. The remaster should always be cheaper than the remake.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was just baffling me, that take, especially when you look at the Thousand Year Door prices. I saw people pulling up on Google and like a quote tweet. It's like, yeah, let me just go buy Thousand Year Door on GameCube real quick, and it's like $300, $180. It's like, let me just buy that real fast. No, I'll take my $60 copy.
I feel like the guy's take was just unfortunate because of the chosen games.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of what I would say. It is. Typically, a lot of the games that Nintendo will come back and re-release or remaster or something. You could go down to your local game store and get it for like $15-$20.
I feel like his take on the Mario vs. Donkey Kong's probably accurate.
That one I think is probably fair.
then again, since it's a whole remake, it's probably going to be an entirely new kind of game versus what we know as Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
From the
GBA.
Yeah.
No, the funny thing is like how he put his initial tweet up that started all the fire. Where he's just like, I was about to lay down to take a nap, and this idea popped in my brain. So here's a video, and I'm like, man, you should just lay down and take that nap. You should just let that idea go to bed with you, Bubba.
Unfortunate for him, just because of the take he did on a game that most people, even non-collectors, know is as expensive as all get out.
Yeah.
But probably feel like his take on the other one is probably fair.
Yeah, it probably is. But hey, at the end of the day, though, I mean, realistically speaking, A+ content. People are talking about interacting with it. Did his
be
job.
fair.
It's getting interaction and traction on Twitter. He did his job.
He may have not gotten the attraction he wanted, but hey, it's something.
It's something. Hey, that's content, baby. But yeah, F-099 though. You know what's so funny about that? When I was talking to Josh a few days prior about the direct and what could possibly be there, and I told him that apparently something F-Zero could be there. I told him, it's like, it'll probably be something fucking stupid like F-099. So like in my reaction text, I'm like, holy shit, I called it. But so F-099, it looks pretty cool though. Shout out to that. New trailer on Mario RPG still looks incredible. Very excited for that one. Princess Peach Showtime. Actually got a full look at this game, title, release date, everything coming out in March. That was one interesting thing about the entire direct is all the release dates. You know what I mean? Like being like March and stuff, or February, like those first couple months. Because like I've been hearing a lot of conversation that like March is a very interesting month to watch for Nintendo because like it's either one of three things is going to happen. Either it's like going to get the reveal of the next console, either release of the next console, which I don't think so, or that's like apparently a cutoff deadline for Nintendo to developers to get games in for launch. I've been hearing March is an important month for Nintendo for the next console. So, everything kind of releasing around that time, it kind of makes sense and it's just kind of fascinating. I did see that when it came to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, got kind of a full look at that, remake, remaster, report, whatever you want to call it, up to the Switch. That one's coming out in the summer. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but I don't think that it really indicates anything about the next console. They've done cross stuff for years. It's not a really big deal. Like I said, Mario and DK got the Zelda and Ganondorf amiibos, Sora amiibo. So now all Smash amiibos are complete once that comes out. Shout out to that. The final DLC for Mario Kart 8, Unicorn Overlord was an interesting one that caught my eye. This is a 2.5D tactics game by Atlas. And it actually looked pretty cool. Like it's over like 60.
Published or actually developed?
I think this was. That's a great question. Let me look. I don't remember. I know Atlas is involved with the game, but I don't remember if they developed it or not. But either way, the game did look actually pretty interesting. Like it's got like over 65 unique characters and stuff. Just big old, let's see, Unicorn Overlord. I think it's developed by Atlas.
Okay.
So. Yeah, tactical RPG by. Yep, it is developed and published by Second Atlas.
Weird ass games.
Yep. So.
Because there's a shit ton of Atlas games that has Atlas name on it. It's a bunch of random things they came out with.
Yep, Sega's publishing, Atlas being the dev. So, no, it actually looks pretty cool. That was one of the few random ones that kind of caught my eye. Eowyn Chronicle, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay. That one getting a new game. I've never played one, but the trailer,
on Game Pass.
The trailer looked pretty sweet for this one.
What are you looking at me for? You said Game Pass and immediately look at me.
Can you blame him?
Yeah.
Why?
There's no need for that.
No need for them shots.
I guess I should have kept it on Alex, seeing as he's the one who said he wants to play it.
I mean, yeah. No, I mean it looked pretty sweet though. From there, the rest of it, Splatoon 3 side order that led off the show. I will say, while I'm not interested, the concept for it seemed really interesting because what they're going for this DLC is that it is basically like, you can play it an infinite amount of times because it's like you're essentially taking a roguelike and putting it in Splatoon. That's literally what they're doing. But no, I mean, shout out to that. I mean, looks kind of cool. I won't check it out, but I mean, I definitely acknowledge where like, okay, that's pretty sweet. Prince of Persia did get a trailer. I don't know if this was news that it's coming to the Switch. I don't remember if the original reveal had Switch logo on it, but either way, already sold on this game. Like I said, there was some car game, some music game, I don't know, Spy Family game.
He was done trying to
was
care
checked out.
about this direct.
That's the worst part is that's like literally the fourth and fifth game. And I was already like, all right, yeah, this sucks. Then Trace Memory, another code. I think it's another code, but they mentioned the game Trace Memory. But another code, I think Recollection is what this is going to be. This is a DS game that is getting remade, as well as a Wii game that never came over to the West, all being ported into one little collection. Looks like a pretty interesting narrative experience. Might look at it eventually. I don't know. We'll see. New Saga, Tomb Raider, first 3 games getting a collection. And you can turn off old graphics and a new remastered graphics. So gamers of today can experience the triangle titties. So shout out to that. Detective Pikachu 2, Trombone Champ, which, oh my God.
That's what you've been excited for, right?
No. This is when I was tuned out, is when it propped up in the like quote line leading to the trailer. It's like, this game is a real toot. And I'm like, oh my God.
He forgot he was watching a direct.
Yeah. At that moment is when I'm just
he
like,
expected
oh,
all
God.
seriousness.
Man, it looked so bad. And I'm watching the game and I'm like, dude, this feels like you're in like a middle school music class.
You realize that's the game, right?
I know.
That's who it's targeted at.
I know. Lord. Next up, we had Battle Crush, which looked kind of interesting. It's a shame that no one will probably play it. It's free to play, but it looked kind of cool, but no one will probably play it. War Tales, Contra Remaster. Shout out to that. Contra getting remastered. You can flip between like up-to-date graphics, old graphics, so that's pretty cool. They showed off a thing with the Nintendo Museum that's opening over in Japan. There's also Xenoblade 3 amiibos, Bandle a new game. Also, shout out to that. WarioWare. God, I'm tired of these fucking games, dude. Give Wario the game he deserves, man. Give Wario another Wario Land or a Wario World. Those are the games that he deserves, not these stupid fucking WarioWare games. Eastward gets a DLC. Wargroove 2. Didn't know there was Wargroove 1.
Yeah, it's a fun tactic game.
Did not know that. Dave the Diver coming to Switch. And then a new Among Us maps. That's basically the Cordyceps, in my opinion. So, bunch of mushroom stuff. And that was the direct. Mid as shit. Definitely could have been an email. This is one of those ones where it's like, do what John does.
Yeah,
just go read an article.
You wish you did what I do.
Yep.
It's like I
wish I
watch
read an article.
I watch directs that I know exactly what it's gonna be about.
Oh man, this one was a rough one. This one took some.
Because even the ones that you like are focused on a central point, it's still hard to watch sometimes when it's not just them talking about directly what's happening.
Yeah. No, this one was a rough one. This one was a rough 40 minutes to sit through. Like I said, it's if this is like the last direct of this current Switch's era, they're going out in a whimpering fart. I mean, this one was boring as hell. But I mean, what do you expect? We're at the end of a generation. Yeah, it's all right. All right. Next, let's get over to Unity.
All right, this burning pyre.
Man, whoo, buddy.
I'm
I
sure.
don't see a problem.
Calm down.
Tell that
calm
to
down.
the 3 developers who've already said, "Hey, our games are gone on this date."
Yeah, January 1st. Cult of the Lamb is one of them.
Yep.
Cult of the Lamb said, come January 1st, they will delete the game.
R.I.P..
From being purchased.
Such a good game too.
No, for anyone for some reason aren't familiar, Unity is a engine used for a lot of games. It's up there in the realm of like the Carbon engine, Unreal Engine, stuff like that. It's just a general software that a lot of developers can have easy access to get into, fairly easy to learn for the most part for anyone who really wants to strive to be a game developer. But they recently, just this past week, they released a new pay-per-install plan that will begin January 1st, 2024. The fee applies when both revenue and download amount is hit. So, man, just across the board, this just really fucks over a lot of indie developers, just with the approach they're taking for this. And it's all broken down, basically per the plans that you can purchase or have for free or whatever. It's like the Unity Personal and the Unity Plus, for example, 12-month revenue and install threshold, $200K. And once that's hit, it'll basically be 20 cents per install. Doesn't matter how many installs, like it's 20 cents if you have one, 20 cents if you have a million. it's gonna be 20 cents across the board if you're on the personal or the plus plan, which that can rack up a lot of money really quick, and they have it that way to try to also incentivize you to get one of the higher tiers, further paying them more money. Because like the Unity Pro, the 12-month revenue and threshold is 1 mil. And then for the installs, it's like 1 to 100K, it's like 15 cents. 100K to 500K, 0.75. 500K to 1 mil, 0.03, and then 1 million plus, like 0.02. And then the enterprise, which is like, this is what big studios are pretty much going to be having. It's like the 12-month revenue installs is still 1,000, and then the price just goes down just a little bit. Like 1 to 100K is 12 cents. 100K to 500K, 0.06. 500K to 1 mil, 0.02, and then 1 million plus 0.01. But like, I mean, it's still going to rack up money pretty quick, especially if you're not in the enterprise plan. And as of now, like I said earlier in the show, they've yet to back down from this announcement. They're still planning to go with it. And the funny thing is, you got to keep in mind, Unity apparently is currently run by former EA CEO who introduced loot boxes into FIFA back in 2009. So this feels very fitting. Apparently, game devs that are signed with a subscription service are free from the fee. However, the service instead will be charged. So if Unity, if they've got a game going to Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, Unity will go to Sony, Unity will go to Microsoft and ask them for payment. Which good luck on that one. I'm sure Microsoft and Sony or Nintendo is gonna get right fucking on that, because this also counts for demos. Demos count for this.
Yeah.
So like I know Nintendo doesn't have a service like Sony or Xbox, but like Nintendo does have the game trials that you can download for. So that counts for this 100%. And then just some notable titles that shout out, like Hollow Knight, Silksong, Cult of the Lamb, Among Us, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which they've sold like over 20 million copies.
Yeah.
Tunic, Outer Wilds, Citizen Sleeper 1, and the second one that's in development. I know Zach's a big fan of that first one. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Marvel Snap, Fall Guys, Cuphead. That's just starting the list of pretty notable games that this engine's built off of.
Yeah, because this affects any game ever made on Unity, not ones currently being made or going to come out.
Yes.
Anything that's already released that made on Unity is also being affected by this.
Yep.
So like even games that developers may no longer be around.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, this is such a shit show, man. And the fact they haven't backed down from this is honestly astonishing. But hey, like I said, it's one of those things where that EA CEO is just like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Then they have to close offices because they got a credible like death threat.
Hey, in terms of money making ideas, fucking top tier, brilliant. In terms of working with people who are actually using your engine and whatnot, pretty big dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what happens when it's like when the person at the top goes, yeah, we're kind of like an industry standard. They have to. It's like they kind of have to go with us, which charge the shit out of them.
Which, if you look at it, I mean, it seems like not a lot per charge, but the fact of the matter, it's per install. So anytime it's installed, people uninstall shit all the time.
I was going to say, I'm the worst person for this too, because I will install a game, play it for a day, uninstall it, and then like 3 weeks later, download it again.
Yes. So, I mean, this can rack up excessively quickly just because of that. I mean, because it is every time it's installed. How they're tracking that, I'm not sure.
See, I'm not sure either, because a lot of people immediately brought up concern. Oh, great. A random person that fucking may hate our guts may install, uninstall. And like Unity kept copying and pasting the same statements. Like, we have special things to prevent fraud, to detect fraud. And we know when that's going to happen. It's like, are you though? Like, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck they're tracking it.
Because, I mean, really, the only thing I could really see that make this just a little bit easier on Unity is just having full transparency of how this system is going to track things and whatnot to developers. I don't think it would help the situation a whole lot, but it would still give more peace of mind to developers and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, for peace of mind to developers, is they're just going to pull their games and move to a different engine.
I mean, at this point, yeah.
I saw some people making general comments about this, where it's just like, the next Hollow Knight that's been in development forever or whatever, that someone made a joke that said now it's going to have to get delayed even further because they're going to have to move it to another engine. And apparently, like the lead developer of that game liked that comment, and that person that put up the original post, like, I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, it's a very shitty thing for developers and whatnot. I mean, it's sort of like
A lot of people are jumping ship.
I mean, my comparison to it is from a couple years back, Patreon.
Yeah.
Whenever they changed the whole subscription fee thing, and like it was going to charge any patrons like several cents for each one of someone was subscribed to their Patreon account and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Which it was a giant shit show. It was a very similar thing of just people who were giving money to patrons was going to get charged like a cent amount for every single one, and people immediately started taking away all their patrons and whatnot because like they had like $1 patrons and whatnot, and they weren't going to get charged like 10 cents for a $1 thing when they have like 50 of them.
Right. And one thing I thought was funny, because this is what you need to do, the best time to do it, is Unreal immediately jumped in on this.
Oh,
and
I bet they did.
Oh yeah, they're jumping in on this and putting their stuff out. It's like, Unreal is pretty easy to get into. Here's a little tutorial for you. It's just Carbon engine is another engine that's used for a lot of different things as well. And basically the man who basically made the Carbon engine himself, MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, he put out there that Carbon engine will never do this. Like it just won't. It's just stupid. It's bad for gaming. It's bad for the gaming industry. And now since this has happened as well, Unity's like I think gone down like $30 on their stock prices.
Not surprised by that at all.
They're mine. I mean, I don't know, man. This is like, again, this is the same man that introduced loot boxes. So
This
why are we surprised?
may be the death of Unity.
That's what's unfortunate, is that this could be the killing point for Unity.
In the past couple years, we've seen examples of like game dev companies pissing off their player base, thinking that they're too much of an immovable force. They're like, people will just deal with it, whatever we do. And then really learning quickly that's not going to happen. Now we're seeing it on the other side.
Yep.
Now we're getting to watch like companies go, what are they going to do? Go use a different development software? And then they're just seeing the response. It's like, I think they're either going to have to back down, or like Zach said, this is going to be the death of them.
Yep. I agree, and honestly, I don't know if they're gonna back down, man. I really don't think they are, because they released multiple follow-up statements where it's just like they're not even attempting to back down. Where they're just like, we apologize. Clearly we're not thinking in the right direction, as we've seen studios do this when they've make some dumb decision. No, they're just like, there's a lot of confusion. Here's a full breakdown of why we're doing this. It's like, you're not helping your case.
Here's a full breakdown that's gonna make you just as mad.
Yeah, because like the article on the site, whatever, like it was originally just like a pretty short article, like here's what we're doing, whatever. And then the edited article, it has, for articles, has a little thing at the top, tells you how long of a read it was. So like the original article is like a 2-3 minute read, and now the new article is like, this is a 10-minute read. I'm like, yeah, I bet it fucking is. 10-minute read just to further piss off your developers. But no, I mean, I think this is the death of Unity if they don't back out. But hey, shout out to Unreal, though. Unreal's fucking sweet. Like, I'd rather just everything be on Unreal anyway. Unreal, in terms of like the software, the engines that is just available for anyone to use.
What engine is
Unreal.
Baldur's Gate on?
Oh, I don't remember.
Would it be Unreal or just one of their in-house?
I'm trying to think if it is. I don't think it is Unreal.
No, it's their engine, I believe.
Okay.
I
That's
just
what I
don't
was
remember
thinking.
what it's called.
Let's see. Baldur's Gate engine. Oh, Infinity Engine is what it's called.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I knew it wasn't any of the standard ones.
Yeah, no, it's.
Let me look up Infinity Engine. Is that just like an in-house one for them? Let's see. What is the Infinity Engine?
See, when I look it up, I see Baldur's Gate 3 engine Divinity 4.0. Because it's their own. I think it's kind of their own thing they've been developing. Because like with the way they make their games and the interaction, especially with like different elements in that.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of it's like they took a step back and had to kind of create their own engine and system to be able to do what they wanted to.
And I was sort of thinking that because I remember Larian not using a standard development software, and it almost makes me curious with Unity going this path and with seeing the possible death of Unity right now. Would other studios reach out or even put out their own development software for others to use for a price?
That's a great question. Some, absolutely not.
No, yeah.
Others, maybe. It's, who would it be? I don't know.
That's why I thought it might be a thing of others developers reaching out specifically to that developer rather than developers actually putting it out, hey, we will start selling our software.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Or the other way, would more developers look at making their own software for use?
That's also a good question. Kind of like the Carbon engine.
Yeah.
I don't think that would. I feel like would be my Hail Mary just because
That's-
there is softwares that are readily usable.
I feel like if that's the case, it's going to be more smaller studios, more
Yeah.
independent stuff like Alarian, where they're building it like they have an idea of what they want to make and they're building it specifically for that.
For their setup, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like Larian, they make a type of game, so they built their system to make that type of game.
Kind of like Bethesda with their engine.
Yeah.
So it's like I could see like a company that's more focused on one type of product being like, okay, let's design our own thing to do this better. I could see that happening, but overall, like I don't see a lot of, especially big developers doing it.
Yeah, as I said, that's my Hail Mary just yeet into the universe thing, but
No, that'd be interesting though, because there's a lot of great engines out there. You know, Frostbite does pretty well. You know, the Forza Tech engine is pretty solid. Whatever Bethesda engine they have, I mean, it's solid. No
Yeah.
doubt. Especially the new revamped one. Starfield is the first game under the new engine. So I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be an interesting thing though. But no, I mean, this very is likely the death of Unity unless they end up backing out like later this week or a couple weeks after. But I don't know, man. With how they I mean, they stood 10 toes down when the backfire started coming in. So I don't know if they're gonna back out, even with stock prices going down and stuff. I don't know if they are gonna back out. Which shout out to that, I guess. This is gonna be a dead ass company in a couple years. So unfortunate. But no, that was a hell of a funny shit show to follow on on social media this past week. Just all the backfire from it. Everyone across the industry kind of is jumping in. Again, like we mentioned earlier, like devs threatening to delete their game off services to be unavailable, like Cold to the Lamb and stuff. Being one, who knows what's going to happen with Silksong? Who knows what's going to happen with Hollow Knight? Second game.
Question about how that's going to work. If they delete their game from being able to be purchased, what about the people that have already bought the game?
That's a good question.
Because they should still have access to it. So
to be able to install
are
it.
they still
Yeah.
going to be charged for like whenever somebody installs that?
Based on how Unity talks, yes.
They're going to find any way possible to get money out
Unless
of you.
whatever way they're tracking this requires access into that system's downloads.
Yeah.
Because the only other thing there would be similar to how PT worked. So once it was off the market, it was no longer downloadable. So anyone who bought it and has access to it.
We about to learn a lot about how digital games work.
Yeah, if this goes through and
Yeah,
people
we
start
are.
removing their games off service,
Yeah.
it's going to become very quick.
Yeah, we about to learn a lot. We might be realizing real soon that people aren't gonna like digital games.
Because it's very bringing that question up. There's very likely going to be a second backlash depending on how that works.
Yeah, if
Either by the player base or by the game developer base.
yeah, it's like there's either about to be a bunch of unhappy players or some developers that are not going to be too happy just because they're going to continue to have to pay for installs and stuff
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
But if they delete it and the game ends up being gone for people, oh, that's going to be bad. That's gonna be a whole second wave.
That's gonna be some spicy conversation come beginning of the year for us. Oh boy, No, you're right. We're gonna find out real quick about the digital game stuff.
Just cross your fingers that Unity holds the line so we can have some gigantic content come the beginning of the year.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Oh, dude. What a wild situation this past week has been with the Unity stuff. So I'm gonna be continue to watch this throughout the week and see how it goes. Anything that you boys want to chat about? Anything you guys have been up to? Anything special?
I played an hour of Starfield.
Oh, okay. You
Look
actually
at
played
you
it.
go.
Let's chat to that.
I had an hour and went, fuck this.
Not for you. Yeah.
Immediately, my thought process was, what am I doing? Okay. Yeah, not for me. I'm gone. Peace.
Yeah.
So I bought Digimon Survive.
Hey.
Hey, boy. Yeah.
I immediately closed out of
Wow.
Starfield, went to Marketplace and went, oh, there's stuff on sale. Hey, Digimon Survive.
Atta boy.
John is so pumped right now.
Bought it for $30.
That was John's biggest pitch about Black Friday last year. Digimon Survive went on sale for $15, and as soon as I got down to it, John's like, "What a deal!"
That's the best. That's probably the best deal that came out of that whole thing.
I'm gonna be honest, it's held strong because all the reviews now, almost a year later,
Oh yeah.
is consistent. So people got over the whole visual novel aspect of it.
See, I will say, just going on a tangent about Digimon Survive, it hit a point in the game, like kind of in the middle of it, where I had the moment where I was like, man, I'd almost BK if I didn't have to do these battles.
Yeah, I remember you saying that on an
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, you got to a point where you were just done with the battles completely.
Well, it was just. Did you end up beating it?
No, I haven't beat it.
But you made it most of the way.
I made it at halfway through.
It's like there was a point where it felt like where like you were almost static with all of your Digimon for an extended period of time that felt like it was a little too long before you kind of got to get to the next stage.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, the visual novel aspect of it carried it pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good for you, Zach.
Hopefully you enjoy it.
We'll see where it goes. I've currently been putting too much time into Heretic Fork, so.
I have only played Path of Exile.
As much as you're allowed to because of your internet.
Oh, I've been struggling my way through it. It's been pissing me off. It is very frustrating playing that game with like inconsistent internet. But I've been making it work. But no, coming up soon, I am going to be revisiting older games that I've left behind.
Okay.
Or revisiting games like Tales of Arise. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be going back to some stuff.
What's gonna be the first thing you go back to?
Probably Tales of Arise because it's got a DLC coming out
All right, fair enough.
in like a month and a half.
Any chance you're gonna go back to Cyberpunk soon? Since the new thing's coming out
Yeah,
I was about to say, it's like a
coming out?
week, right?
next week. I think it's next week.
I think it is too.
Yeah, I think they put up the 21st. I thought it was supposed to be end of this month. I thought it was supposed to be the Tuesday that I left for vacation.
I just know they've released several trailers and teasers
Yeah,
this week for it.
But I saw a date on Twitter that was the 21st. I'm like, is it releasing early? Like, do they bump up the release date, or is this like an early access thing? Because I swore it was the week that right before I left for
I
vacation.
just know Phantom Liberty will be out here in like a week or two.
So I mean, if it comes out
Is that-
next week, I may actually check
Is
that
that
out.
supposed to be like? Is with the DLC? Is it recommended to do a new playthrough, or have the game beat and then play it?
If you just want to do the Phantom Liberty, I think it's probably your best intention to have the game beat. But to my understanding, you can access it anytime. But
Yeah,
just,
because it's
Well,
sort
a lot of times with like
yeah,
you'll get at least some sort of recommendation. It's like if you want to do it, because I'm curious because I want to. It's on my list to play through. I have it downloaded.
yeah. Personally, I would do a new playthrough because of how much they improved the base game.
That's what I was wondering, but
From my understanding, the whole Phantom Liberty thing is like a side story to the main storyline. So I mean, it's put in there like, hey, we're gonna go do something else for a moment. So it's not like a outside experience. I mean, you can play it if you've already beat the game without much issue, just maybe slightly odd.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering because I was gonna do a new playthrough anyway.
Yeah,
But I was
in
just
term-
wondering if I wanted to delay it until Phantom Liberty came out,
Yeah.
or do it beforehand and then just play through the.
But in terms of chronologically, it's taking place during the main Cyberpunk story.
Yeah, I'll probably wait for it to come out and then play it again.
If it comes out next week, I may check it out.
That's been my intention from the beginning because I almost started it like 6 months ago, and I was like, wait a second, what's the point of playing it right now? If that's gonna make me not want to play it when the DLC comes out.
Right.
Too much stuff.
Fair.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out right now.
'Cause I got to try to figure out how to play Tales of Arise, and then I got to play Cyberpunk. But then Payday 3 comes out, and Spider-Man comes out.
How'd you like the beta? Because I saw you and the others jumped on it for a little bit.
It's a little janky as fuck.
I mean, yeah, but it did feel nice with some of the new features and things like that.
That's one thing I talked about is like trying to do the heist quietly is interesting because the different stuff that you have to do
Yes.
is random spawns,
Yes.
which makes it interesting.
And it makes the stealth portion of the game a lot more interesting compared to at least when we played 2. I don't know if they changed it, updated it all with later releases, seeing as we haven't played in like 8 years.
Yeah, but it was interesting. We didn't end up doing a silent heist during the beta. We got pretty close. We were starting to get pretty close to it, but we didn't end up getting it done. Someone ended up getting seen, so we probably did 5 to 7 runs.
Yeah.
And failed 1.
That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
My main takeaway from the Payday was just the fact that they got rid of the whole heavy and light system of how armored or gunned up you are.
That I think that's gonna be. I don't know if we really know that necessarily because we didn't have a whole lot of like armor or anything.
I mean, there were
variations
just a couple variations, and I mean, you call in a grenade launcher.
How do you do that?
So more or less, once you get up that bar, which charges by doing successful picks or killing people, you just hit. I think it was V was the default key, and just randomly.
What was the original key?
V.
Was that bound to anything else?
I don't know.
Because I rebound some shit and I didn't know. I never knew how to do that, and I was too like stubborn to look it up.
I say it's V. I only ever used it once because I mean it really wasn't necessary unless you were on overkill.
Yeah, no, we I mean, it was pretty fun. I mean, it wasn't too, at least like on base difficulty, it wasn't too hard to get anything done. Even on base difficulty though, you can very much get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Very quick, especially in the final aspect when you're trying to get to the car and get out.
Yeah, no.
If you're anything like, the average Payday player where you have to take every single bag and every single bit of money that you possibly can.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know how
how'd you like the lock picking the safety deposit boxes now?
it's so much better.
It's so much better.
So much better. And then there's also perks if you go into the tree that's focused on stealth and lockpicking, that makes it even quicker.
Yeah.
Because I got into a game where I had someone else who had it, and where it, more or less, if you hit the action key once, it immediately just unlocks it. So me and him went through those lockpicks like nothing. Those safe deposit box was nothing.
Yeah. I'll be excited to play the game when it comes out. I'll probably be picking it up on Steam.
Yeah.
But
That's next week, right?
Yep.
yeah, it's like I'll probably be picking it
I
up.
think
on
it's
Steam and
actually
get doing
available in
some-
early access right now because it was like if you bought the gold edition, it was like 3-day early access, and it comes out on the 21st, so Tuesday.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be
Oh, I say
it'll be fun.
not the 21st, whatever Tuesday is.
I want to see the other heist because
I do want to see the other heist. I'm curious where the story is since Bane supposedly became president and we have a new handler lady.
I don't know.
Because Bane was the guy
Yeah.
who was always in your head.
Yeah, it'll be fun to play. I'm curious about. Really, I kind of want to see like like you mentioned, like the light and heavy armor.
Mhm.
I want to see what options we have on the full game
Yeah.
because we had like 7 weapon choices or something
Yes.
in it. I got rid of the assault rifle very quickly. I was the shotgun guy.
How do you feel about them allowing? This is now going to be a payday cast, everybody. Before we even get close to ending the show, the fact that you could buy weapons multiple times for different customizations.
Didn't notice that.
Okay.
Cool idea though.
Cool idea. There.
Well, actually, it's cool idea, bad implementation. Because if you want to have something like that where you can have various iterations of it, you should just be able to have presets on your weapon
Correct.
that you can do with it. I didn't notice that you could do that.
Yes. That was the first thing I noticed when I hit level 2 and could buy the shotgun is that I bought it and I could still purchase it. And I went, that's why it gives us so many slots for each thing. So we can customize the weapon multiple times for different loadouts.
Yeah, I mean, strange, but I guess it makes sense. Like if you want to, depending on how trying to do the heist quietly and that, if you want to have different setups for your weapons.
Because you have loadouts and then you have different weapon setups.
Yeah.
And then also, thank God money's not going to be a grind.
No, you get money super fast. But what was I gonna say? What'd you think about having to make sure that you stocked up on like medic bags, ammo bags, or something like that? Because if you went into the heist and selected one,
Yep.
it's consumable.
Yes.
So then you have to go back to the store and buy more of them.
Yes.
Also, the UI, like the menu interface, was that? Did you find that annoying at all? Like just the menuing in game.
A little bit.
Bad if it's bad if you were doing co-op.
Was it? Okay.
It was laggy.
I didn't do co-op. I was just simply solo. So I mean, it wasn't too bad. I did feel it was a little janky compared to Payday 2's UI that we eventually got to. But I mean, it wasn't a big hindrance for me.
Yeah, I will say I was a little surprised that it didn't have VoIP. It's like it almost feels like it's a game that would work really well with it.
Yeah.
Understand why they might not want it. But you know what the alternative is? It's the fucking like wheel of talking options, which I don't know how it was for you, but for us, it just turned into a trail of people sneaking down the hallway, and every time you saw a camera, 4 people pointed at it.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
a camera. It's 4 people. There's a camera. You turn around, go the other direction. There's a camera. There's a guard over there. One person points at it, and then everyone else goes, yeah, I got to go ping that now.
The only thing I didn't like about that ping system was that, and I don't know if there's perks or whatnot, the lines are not necessarily visible through walls. So even if people hit it, you have to see it in your visible range. So like if you walk through a door and there's a guard that someone's pointing out, it doesn't necessarily show you through the wall.
Yeah.
Which was sort of janky.
Yeah. I assume some of that's just because it was what they said was an unexpected additional beta.
Yeah.
So assuming some of that was probably old.
Because they wanted to server test it.
Which is what I was telling buddy I was playing with. I was like, I'm assuming this is old. I'm assuming this is gonna be a little cleaner when it comes out.
Hopefully. If not, quality of life update eventually.
That's what patches are for.
Yeah.
That's what patches are for.
I mean, overall, just from the initial bank heist and everything, the overall system and everything, I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I said, we did a few runs and we are like, okay, now we know what how the game plays. I'm willing to buy this now.
Still hate cloakers. Splinter Cell. The fact that those guys come out on easier difficulties now is sort of scary.
Dude, they just fucking like, regardless of the enemy, when it's time for them to show up, they will spawn from inside of you.
Yeah.
They will spawn from everywhere.
Cloakers don't care.
Well, no, I'm just talking just in general, any of the cops.
Oh, I never got that.
Oh no, yeah, no. I would be sitting there looking, and they'd be like, "They're on the way," and then I'd see like 7 guys just phase in, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "You guys normally don't come from this way."
I did see that because like I did see all like the different spawn points they could come from because it very much when the assault happened, it was very much, oh, we're suddenly out of this garage or we're coming down the street or hey, we had a helicopter here. I was like, what? And then you just get they sent in a bulldozer. What?
Is that the big charging dude?
That's the big guy in the full heavy armor.
If he's charging at you, one shotgun blast to the head, and he stops.
Yeah.
And he pulls his gun out, and then
Well, that was because that was always their weakness is you break their visor glass.
yeah, and then they just take up a shitload of ammo while you're getting shot by everyone else.
Yep.
But it's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Just a few days though.
Yep.
A few days. So yeah, next week you guys will just be talking about Payday and maybe
Probably.
Mortal Kombat. We'll see.
It's really pushing this Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. MK1 probably. He sent us a message in Discord saying, either y'all gonna talk about Mortal Kombat.
Hold on.
I
hold
looked
on,
at-
hold on. Here's why. There was a little confusion on my end of when
Okay.
the
Yeah.
game came out because
Yep.
I saw a lot of people talking about it all over Twitter. The reviews dropping,
Yeah.
everyone talking about it. And when I googled Mortal Kombat to see the release date, like literally the first thing I saw, man, was like the base game, not even the special edition, the base game at like a Best Buy. You know how Google has the shopping thing? It says pick up today. So I was like, okay, I guess it's out. That's as far as I went.
Okay.
So that's where the confusion came in.
Because he sent that, and I went, I know the early access started. I was like, I'm not paying $100 for this. Fuck that.
I was sitting there. I was like, "Bitch, you think?"
There was a confusion on my end of when I thought the game came out. Okay, I'm not paying attention to this fucking game. So, my bad.
Also, it's really sort of dawning on me the new generation prices of when the best editions are all like 110. I'm going, damn, that's sort of rough.
Right. You guys got anything else? If not, we can hit the weekly wrap up. Get out of here.
Payday cast is over.
Okay. All right, weekly wrap up. So the first thing that I wanted to shout out was that Pokemon Tail Mask is out,
What is that?
the DLC.
What?
Yep. It's a thing.
I can explore more stuff on foot.
God, I hate you so much. Josh has played it, and Josh says it's incredibly mid. That's everyone's reaction online. Is like, yeah, it's a thing.
Wasn't the first one for Sword and Shield also mid?
All of Armor was all right. Yeah.
From what I've heard, it's like casually not trying to like rush through it or anything, kind of
Yeah.
exploring around is maybe 6 hours if you're going really slow before you've kind of done everything.
Yeah. The most exciting thing to come out of the DLC is literally just we got confirmation of where the second DLC takes place
Okay.
with the Blueberry Academy that's out in the middle of the ocean. Apparently, it's in Unova. So that is the only thing that everyone's been super pumped about. It's like, oh fuck yes, Black
Gen
and White.
5?
Yeah, because there's been all these talks of this Gen 5 game that's happening next year. So it's just like Gen 5's happening. Like, this is it, guys. Look at this. See, we're going to Unova. This is so cool. That's what everyone's been excited about, not the DLC itself. The one thing that Josh pointed out that he thought was really nice about the Teal Mask is like, while the Indigo Disc is going to obviously be based in Unova with the Blueberry Academy, this one, he said, in his opinion, feels like Johto. Like, it's got like a Johto vibe, a lot of the same music, stuff like that, just the general vibe of the area that you're in. So I was like, I mean, I guess if you're a Gen 2 fan, you'll have a great time. There's a lot of Johto mons that you can catch too, but I don't know. I told Josh, and I've been telling him this forever because I have not had any excitement for the DLC, is that the absolute earliest you're going to catch me playing this is potentially when I'm going down to Florida, whenever I won't be driving. That is the earliest opportunity I might play it. And even then, it's a big question mark because there's some other things on Switch I'd like to play. I recently picked up.
Octopath Traveler?
No, but I do want to pick that up. I recently picked up the Five Nights at Freddy's collection, the first 5 games, and I plan on playing
They
that.
made 5 of those?
Yeah.
There's more than that.
Yeah, plus Security Breach. And the weird RPG that everyone likes to forget.
I guess I like to forget the entire franchise.
I'm surprised you picked up FNAF. I mean, I know you've been getting into horror games, but I didn't figure that was your style.
Christina's a massive fan. So there you go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's your answer. Plus, we're going to see the movie, which I am excited to see the movie.
Right, there's a movie.
movie?
Yeah.
Coming out in October. It looks really good. The trailers look so good. Nah, the trailers look good, dude. I'm excited.
If it doesn't end up with a guy being put in a animatronic, it's not real.
You know what else is really good, though? One Piece.
That's what I've seen.
One Piece live action's actually really
I mean,
fucking good.
it got a
God,
season
wrong
2.
podcast.
It got a season 2 already. I mean, this is the first anime to live action that's getting a second running that's outside of the East.
It's actually really good. I ain't gonna lie.
It's not the wrong podcast, John,
It is the wrong podcast.
because the 2 people who are on it are here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to AniMan Plus,
Hey,
baby.
wrong day. Wrong banners around the video.
We can switch that.
Honestly, with one click of a button, I can make it go to the next one. It may take a minute. I don't know what will happen to the stream, but I can do it. Anyway, back to the weekly wrap up, though. Ascendant Studio, which is the creators of Immortals Avium, has laid off half its staff
R.I.P.
after poor launch and sales. Unfortunate. This is still a game I plan to play.
I don't understand. The thought process or the reasoning behind.
Right?
It's it didn't launched.
Well, it launched.
Well,
I mean, it came out.
I know.
I
but
mean, yeah.
in my
How much you call
nobody's
launch?
noticed yet.
Exactly.
I know I have one guy at one of my stores that I talk games with who has picked it up, and he says, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm enjoying it." And I asked him the exact question that we talk about all the time. I'm like, "Is it a 7 out of 10 game?" He's just like, "Yeah, I'd say it's a 7 out of 10 game." I'm like, I'm on it.
See, that's,
He has no context of the show. I just asked him that question, like, "Is it 7 out of 10?"
That is our standard if you don't
Yeah.
know, folks.
Yeah.
see, Zach, this is the problem. It may have launched, just nobody's known yet. Nobody's realized.
Thus,
this is
there's
gonna
no
be-
reason to keep these employees on staff, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you know.
you got to start the next one. Season 2.
Like One Piece.
Yeah, exactly. Like One Piece.
You guys are fucking terrible.
Give it some time. You'll watch One Piece too.
No, I won't.
Yes, you
No,
will.
he won't.
Give it some time.
No, I won't.
Give it enough time, and he will. He will
did you
watch
ever
the
finish
live
Moon Knight?
action.
Which one was that?
Give it some time, and he will watch the live action. Just
Maybe.
give it some time. All right, so next up, EA is already cutting support on Wild Hearts, only 7 months after launch.
Oof.
Yeah, just
I'm not surprised, though.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
poor launch. You know,
shame, but that game may have been doomed, kind of timing of it coming out and everything.
Fun game, though.
But unfortunate.
yeah. There is a Like a Dragon direct set for the 19th.
I don't
so-
know what to expect from this.
I don't know either. I'll put it on the script for you next week, and if there's something cool that you want to chat about, there you go. But that is
Expect me to
happening.
watch this.
I imagine you'll go check out an article. Okay, I imagine you'll go look at something.
I mean, I might watch it. I'm off Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, you might see something. Is Tokyo Game Show this week too?
Believe so. The weekend, 21st to the 24th.
Yeah, okay, that's right. So yeah, Tokyo Game Show's next weekend. So shout out to that as well. Starfield is getting DLSS soon, so that's cool. As well as a bunch of other random updates, such as an eat food button. All right, I'm glad we're prioritizing things here.
I mean, it's not like anyone's going to use it.
Yeah. Insomniac devs have officially moved to Wolverine.
Woo!
So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing more on that next year. Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No.
We'll see.
Nope.
There was an Apple showcase this week. The only reason this is on the script because this was really fascinating to me. With the iPhone 15 Pro, it will be able to run AAA games natively, meaning you can download it to your phone and play it, not via cloud. And games they showed is Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 8, Assassin's Creed Mirage, and Death Stranding.
See, Nintendo? That's how you do it.
That's impressive, especially because they said natively. That is very whatever chip Apple created for this phone. That's very fucking
That
impressive.
thing has better hardware than the Switch.
Dude.
I think everything has better hardware than the
At
Switch.
this point, yes.
But it's a mobile phone.
yeah, dude.
That was released as a game console, the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even every other phone that we have right now could run all the Switch games better than the Switch. This isn't news.
I mean, it's not, but we got
the fact that it can run some of these other AAA games. Yeah, that's impressive.
At 30 FPS too.
Well, now you threw out the FPS, man. It's not 60. Now it's just going to be a rage of, it's not 60.
Yeah, I know. The one thing I'm gonna be curious about is like when someone's playing one of these
gonna
games.
be downloading these.
Yeah, see, that's what I want to know too. I have questions.
How big of a fucking drive do you have on this
how
phone?
much space is
How
on
much
these
battery
phones?
life does this fucker
That
have?
was my question. Is like when they're playing a game like this, how quickly is your phone going to die? I have to know.
It's gonna last about 13.5 minutes.
Oh, dude. No, that was whatever, man. Props to Apple wanting to get into the gaming space, maybe. One of the most random game announcements I've ever seen came out this week, and that was a Demon Slayer Mario Party. I don't remember the actual title of this game, but it's Demon Slayer Mario Party. When I saw someone tweet about it, they didn't have like the reveal video, and I'm just like, is this a meme or is this real? And I had quickly looked it up and I found it. No, it's real. There's a reveal trailer. When I say it's Mario Party, but it's Demon Slayer. So whatever, man. I mean,
Okay.
coming to Switch. That seems appropriate. So whatever. It's another one of those classic times of where it's like, hold on. I'll give a little bit of props on something. We got an anime game that's not your standard bullshit fighter that sucks. Props to that, I guess. Bandai Namco has done the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Hey,
Shout out to something different.
You can say it sucks, but you know what? Bandai says it sells
Barely.
because they've said before it's like, are they making the games that they want to make? Maybe not necessarily all the time, but sometimes you have to make what sells.
But they barely sell. You're gonna tell me people played One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, more like One Punch Man, a game that nobody knows.
It got 2 games.
It didn't get a second one. Did it get a second one?
I think it did.
It got 2 games.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it got 2 games.
All right, hold on. What? I didn't know I got a second. I also know.
Also, you know how much of a crew they need to make these games? A fucking skeleton one.
I mean, basically. I guess also to be fair to the One Punch Man game, it did get nominated for Fighting Game of the Year because like 2 came out. Fucking stupid. That category needs to go in years where there's not a lot of fighting games. That category needs to go. But now you're making me question: did it actually get a second one or not?
2 games.
Whatever, man. Demon Slayer Mario Party. Check it out next year. Little rumor here per Jez Gordon that apparently the next Mass Effect game will return to linear format and not open world, similar to what Andromeda had. So more in line to what the first 3 games were, or really the second and third game.
That sounds terrible.
That sounds fantastic. That's what they need to do. And the last thing is Xbox launching a credit card next year. Seems deadly.
Seems motivating.
And deadly.
What's wrong with having a credit card?
Well, I mean, in terms of having an Xbox credit card, that seems kind of deadly.
When I can go up to Blizzard Activision and slap my credit card and I'm going to buy you.
I mean, yeah, probably. If there's anyone that would get a credit card limit enough to do that, it would be you.
What's your credit card limit? Microsoft's bank account.
Basically. Basically. See, like if when it comes to you, Zach, if we had to like pick a certain sort of like wrestling persona, you would essentially be like Ted DiBiase. You would be the $1 Million Man.
I mean, I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
but why did it go to wrestling personality?
I've been just into wrestling again
Okay.
recently, so I thought of Ted DiBiase in this situation because you're the $1 Million Man here. So that's all I had for the wrap up. Do you guys have anything? Any news bits?
No.
I think we've killed all our bits for this show. I'm pretty sure we
I
ran.
got fucking nothing.
I'm pretty sure we ran this show like an extra 40 minutes because of all our bits.
That's okay. That's no big deal. All right, we're gonna hit the music and we're gonna get out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. Yeah, I got nothing else. Peace.
All right, yeah, do what he said and more. And if you liked what you got here with us, then thank you. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you like what you see for some reason, come check us out. We do these on Saturdays about 6 p.m. Central Time, so come check us out then.
Make sure to also check us out on our website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free or sign up $5 a month, and we'd appreciate that extra support. Also, use our referral link down below to pick up some Rogue Energy. Use promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off, as well as use our referral link to go buy a jersey from our Agent Inc. store. Join the Discord, do everything and more. Again, I won't be here next week, but make sure to come by, hang out with the boys while they talk Payday 3 and whatever else they want to talk about. And then after that, the show will be on a break for a couple weeks. So I'll be back in 3 weeks. Hopefully everyone has a wonderful day and a wonderful next few weeks. And the boys will crush it next week. So shout out to that. All right. Bye.